Good morning. Welcome everybody. This is Tammy at All About Living, and today we're going to make pinto beans. Just old-fashioned, southern, simple, minimal ingredient pinto beans that are just out of this world.
This is all you're going to need to make southern pinto beans. Now you're going to need pinto beans. This is 1 pound that I've washed, let set overnight, and then rinsed again, and they've all swole up, and it's probably 3 pounds worth now. I'm going to use my smoked turkey legs. These are so good, but you can use whatever. Now we're going to go get some chicken broth. You don't have to use chicken broth, but it just adds a layer of flavor. You're going to need 6 cups. Whether you use chicken broth or water is up to you. And we're going to need some salt. Okay, we're going to get started. We're going to put these beans in this pot. And I'm going to tell you the difference. I like using the slow pot because I can put it in, just put it on low, cook them low and slow all day, and then I don't have to worry about it. But you can cook them on top of the stove. You just have to keep them at a low simmer, and you have to be able to watch them in case that water goes down, you know, and you might need to add water on the stove. Basically in the crock pot you really rarely ever have to add any water. Now we're gonna put our chicken broth in here. Okay, between the carton and the can, there's like right at 6 cups. If I look in my pot and I see that it's not covering or whatever, then I'll add a little bit of water. But at this point, I think I'm gonna be fine. Yep, I'm gonna be fine. I'm not gonna need any more water. Now we're going to add us a little bit of salt, but not a lot. We're not going to try to over salt or anything like that, because I don't know about the salt content in that turkey or the salt content in that broth. So we're just going to put a little bit to start, because all beans need salt. And now we're going to add our turkey legs. Aren't those awesome looking? You could really get away with using one of these, they're so big, but since we're having company, I'm going to use them both. And we're just going to drop those down in there. They don't have to be fully covered in the water or anything. You just set them right on in there. And we're going to come back in about 3 hours, and I'm going to check the it's not that they're not done, but I'm going to check how soft my drums are, and then we're going to get them all tore up in there, and then take the bones out, and then just let the beans finish cooking. That's it, folks. We're going to put this lid on this, and we're going to call it good till about 3 hours when I check that meat. See you then.
To make rice, you need I need a good stainless steel pot with a good fitting lid. And then you want to turn your eye up on high. And you need 4.5 cups of water for 2 cups of rice. That should serve 4 to 6 people, depending on what you're using it for and how many people you have. Now, if Randy and I were just here by ourselves, I use 1 cup of rice to 2.25 cups of water. So what we're going to do is we got our water on, and I'm going to put 2 cups of rice. Just like so. And then I'm going to put salt. And I know y'all don't like that I don't measure, but this is kosher salt, and I'm just putting it in there. If it's not quite enough, when I taste it, I'll add a little more, but this should be good. We're just going to give that one little stir to incorporate that salt. We're going to put the lid on there, and we're going to let it come to a boil, to a rolling boil. All right, I'm looking into my pot, and I'm seeing that it's just about ready to boil. When I get a good boil, I'm going to turn that heat down really low, like less than medium low, like just above the lowest setting on your, on an electric stove. It'd probably be like 3 or 4 on most electric stoves. On the gas, I'm just going to, my flame shouldn't be, shouldn't have more than that much flame. I don't know how else to explain it. Or I guess I can show you my flame, but all stoves are different. So, but what you're really looking for is for it to get to a boil, and then for it to drop to a simmer without taking the lid off. You don't need to take the lid off. You don't need to stir it. You don't need to do anything except turn the fire down, the flame down. Oh. And be patient with it. A good pot of rice probably takes 20 to 25 minutes. So you really, you just gotta watch, just keep an eye on it. That's all you gotta do. All right. When it starts to give a real good hard boil, it'll want to come up the pan. When you see that, then that's when you want to turn it down. And if you're on electric and it takes a minute for it to come down, rather than have your water spill out, just move it off the eye until it comes down to where you need it to be to a simmer. Because you're not going to hurt the rice as long as you don't open the lid and mess with it. Alright, we're at that good rolling boil now. I hope you can see down inside the glass, but we are coming up. So now we're just going to turn that eye down. We're not going to open the lid. We're not going to touch it. See, it automatically, as soon as you turn that heat down, your bubbles started going down. Now you just want it to simmer. You're just going to let it sit there and let that rice absorb that water and salt.
Okay, at this point, what you're looking for is those little divots and little holes in the tops of the rice. That's where the evaporation is coming up and evaporating out. And once you see that, then you're like seconds away, and then you'll just want to turn that eye off. Don't open the lid, just leave it sit, and you'll want to let it sit for a good 10 minutes and let the rest of the water absorb into that rice, and it should be nice and flaky and soft and tender and good to go. Okay, we're going to lift our lid, let that steam out, check our rice. Oh yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. No stickiness, not stuck to the bottom of the pan, flaky, just what you're looking for. Perfect rice.
We're at the 3-hour mark, and I'm going to pull that lid off. Sit that down. Make sure you turn that thing away from you so the steam doesn't get you in the face. Oh yeah. It is falling off the bone. It is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at that. We're not going to have to do anything but pull that bone out. Whoop. Oh. Hot! Hot, hot, hot. Okay, now you do, turkey drums have these little bones like this, and you really want to try to get all those out. And even if you don't do it now, when you serve it, when you go to put it in the bowl over your rice, you'll be able to see them and take those out, because they're definitely no fun to bite into. We're going to get as many of those as we can now, and then the rest we'll get out when we plate it up. Oh goodness, there's a lot. Honey, you want to come try these beans? 'Cause we are having company tonight, so they got to be right.
Here, let me taste.
All right, they're hot, hot.
Them's the best navy beans I ever ate.
They're not navy beans.
What do you mean they're not navy?
They're pinto beans.
Oops. It's still good.
All right.
And here's our bed of fluffy, perfect rice. It's gonna be so good with my beans. There you go. Awesome.